heavyweight champion of the world, witamy mistrza świata Krzysztof Glowacki.
Gentlemen, let's do this.
Collision got announced, and I've known him personally through screen as amateur, admired and and looked at her down the line. But for now, this is his night. It's fit.
Upsetting the reigning Marco Hook, and desperate to impress. It really
force and power of Glowacki, and
one thing we can't underestimate to impress. He will back his big punches early doors. He'll be slightly engaging up close, as you can see here.
Left hand by Usyk, who looks long and believes this is on. Good fight as a throw. That's what they believe with Usyk. The punches in. He's very aggressive.
Slightly slower than Vasil Lomachenko, standout amateur in world amateur boxing. He's really world champion. And Krzysztof Glowacki is the world champion.
Well, the good start this from Glowacki as he comes in.
Against Hook early doors, he was getting off body shots quite early.
WBO to Krzysztof Glowacki, who's coming on, who comes with A2 promotions. He sparred with Vladimir Wait, and look, can he deliver on the tonight?
He's looking for shortcut. He's looking for that all the time, and careful Usyk, because he's Glowacki with that counter.
Late, and he's main, and then Hook in a few times. He's rounded, he's tough, seasoned, goes long, and it's a big
little adjustment that already is done. So already Usyk's only thrown one left hand.
And out of range there, going to work the body, isn't it? Slow Usyk.
Happen here in this fight from the amateurs. You've got to take him to places where he hasn't been, as a the pressure on. He needs to get Usyk in, and he needs to make it up close.
Polish compatriot of Glowacki, and what he did with Deontay. He did get knocked out, but he fight to him. He was knocked under lights, and similar fashion. The battle of the southpaws here.
And what you've touched on there about Spick is out there, and this is what going to have to take stuff in.
And was also working with for a while, experienced man for Usyk too. He's physically bigger, from Kiev and from Volt Trunks. And the power and the heart, which he won't want to give up on home soil in front of behind him, Tony.
Vocal out of early doors, but he's going to need to come up with a game plan that he will have worked on. The shot them up close. It was very, very close there, Glowacki.
Sides with your Dave.
Usyk's got a box. He's got a cut of Glowacki. He's going to be very, very strong. Away from him. Keep popping the jab.
In the pros, he punched
of damage before. Right eye.
Glowacki's banged that body around, and he's got to really get into a rhythm with his southpaw jab. He's popping it off.
Remember as well, through that fight and beat Mark, said he was huge heart, huge.
He'll take whatever you give him. He's not a fancy punch.
Nice left hand around this, the third. Feet into the canvas a little bit more.
He's letting Glowacki lean in.
Keep using your jab over and over again. That's from the Usyk corner.
And it's sound advice, Adam. Create a distance between you, and that's what Usyk needs to do. As we'll see here, coming out for a quick start to round, quite lined in long straight shots.
3-4 just under Usyk, or with 200 for Glowacki. 1 for this. Glowacki had boxed to fit as the sessions of Glowacki will play at the moment.
Glowacki
on a body shot again, and one to the head, and roughing up Usyk. There's a smile there. And if he's been sparring with the likes of Vladimir Klitschko and the bigger boys.
Been sparring and fighting. She's got to be careful on the inside, though. He will left hand swing from Glowacki, clean but grazed across the temple of Oleksandr Usyk.
And that's a good body shot on the knee. They're the keys for Glowacki. He has to nail him with body shots. He has to take the fluidity away.
You throw some division.
You will find you better, and that's what he's at, adapting and firing back.
WSP doing it in the shorter Glowacki. No one's managed it so far. But Glowacki staying out of range when he can, and then go.
Look for them shots, Adam. There you go, the pitcher's throw.
And mental head clash.
Good fight for Glowacki. Every now and again hits and whistles as it goes along.
This word we remember very well. Referee a lot of he's there with Adelaide. Will they be needed? A long, long way there. The two southpaws, sometimes two southpaws. in the ring and the gel, Tony.
They have Adam Allen is paying Krzysztof Glowacki opportunities to be hit. That's a
Shot from Glowacki again. Added power. 7. They're not early knockouts, even though he's only had them like Anthony Joshua's been doing.
No, I think Glowacki's definitely, but Usyk's got that sharp, stinging power. They take a lot of energy.
Like I say, it's them puffing heavy shots that to land. Glowacki loads with everything. That's a
They both had really good amateur careers, though. Glowacki, great pedigree. Obviously has a couple of belts. Tony, you have
these guys, but like I say, tonight is the Usyk's career, and let's not forget, you know.
Tony, I think Glowacki's getting quite big right hooks. He's doing pretty well this round.
He can hit Usyk, because I think he might have had not the hardest in the world to hit.
He's a piston jab. Glowacki's getting over there. He's in the shot.
There's a better round this for Glowacki. Yes.
Fight, and Usyk is taking it on in his rhythm.
Basil Lomachenko at ring, come out of the Ukraine after. This is fight number 10. It was some fight that.
I think a range and a pace that he's quite emphasised it enough. He has to get up close.
To drop that right hand, as a rule, he and I don't get him back in.
Where Glowacki goes, and interesting to see how this fighting, because ultimately it's not going to stay the same way all the time. Good body shot there.
Whips an uppercut, just missed. Arrows of Usyk, he can be hit. Shield, as if to say, I'm in control, enjoying myself here. And if he backs up, Glowacki's in big trouble.
Yeah, he is. But if I remember rightly, I'm sure it was a. So maybe he's thinking.
Yeah, I don't think Glowacki's powers previous fight. Good overhand left there from Glowacki. Going the body will show later on in the fight. This is a good
little bit of Klitschko music to
professionals now. So, you know, like I say, boxing's gone from strength to strength. Since Floyd Mayweather, you know, has left us for a temporary basis, we seem to be finding more and more stars to fill his
temporary
boots.
Basis. He'll be back for 50.
After sitting with him earlier on this year, I believe he'll be back.
Usyk in front, just on Grzegorzy's card there. As well, Glowacki's had his moments. A way to go, but he's starting the second half of the fight as he started. That's a good sign for the Ukrainian fans, but slopping a little bit later. And this is how Dave's got it for Glowacki.
Earlier fights that did show well with a fight of this magnitude, but you know, let's just bear that in mind.
Jose Antard, good fight that. Who'd given his all. This at a very different level. Side all by the Ukrainian side. Rev too much.
Look how mobile Usyk keeps floating around that ring. Glowacki's got to go to the body. He's got to nail that body.
To turn it into an all-aggressive dogfight.
Counters, he must be very careful. That Usyk must be wary of these counters.
That's a good point, Tony. He did catch him with a when he gets close and on the inside, and that slashing left hook. He's Glowacki. But Usyk showing the class and the movement.
Off towards the end there, and that's another round.
Through a few more rapid combinations, whether he'll just sag a bit, Glowacki.
I think Glowacki's problem is, if Usyk starts landing those body shots, his hands are going to get lower. That'll open up the gaps for Usyk to switch then, to go upstairs. Usyk's very, very good at switching between head and body. When he starts letting his hands go, he picks the spots perfectly.
Well, we're already into the 8th round of this. Downs, neither fighter dramatically, particularly the body ones, eye-catching movement of Oleksandr, the come-forward desire, and the punches thrown to Glowacki. These are tip-top fights.
Belt, and we all want to unify the belts, all you know, all out and nail them.
A few weeks, world titles, week by week. To agree, brought you this one because pot Oleksandr Usyk fight to try and become a world champion, and he would.
Yeah, he's a tough man. But just looking at Usyk, he's started varying the jab now. He's jabbing to the body, he's stabbing downstairs, going back upstairs to wear Glowacki out now. He's definitely starting
angles, and the speed is impressive.
To nail your feet to the floor and keep them planted all the time. And the way Usyk is boxing, he's dictating the pace. Like I said, the only fault I could make if he's used the jab a little. He is swinging, but he's just falling short. And
I was with Johnny in the Austrian mountains where we got a. Occasionally looks a bit subdued, or more subdued than he did. Fire some life into it, and
needs a little bit of success with some power combination. Get a reaction out of Usyk.
Got in them shots, and it's made with the right hook to follow. But He's a pacer and dictate the distance and to do.
He's having trouble with distance because he does that.
Usyk's punches. Some good saying he needs to do this, he needs to finish a superior boxer. With great feet, it's very, very hard to implement what you need to do. Look how low.
Very, very hard to land some clubbing, hook, even more in confidence. No sign of him flagging his defence.
Like I said, through all the things you've said, he's a little bit technical, isn't that? Ultimately, he's wary. Oleksandr Usyk is hitting harder than, and it's stopping Glowacki working.
Right nod from Usyk to say, yep, I'll give you.
Usyk looking to put his, we might get just soon.
Is there a time you may have a chance to up it? Some good uppercut.
There is, Adam, and he is the guy now stepping forward and you know, looking for them bigger shots.
And Dave, we said if he backs up Glowacki.
Definitely, because Usyk's got, it's one thing trying to counter as well, so it's going to be harder for him to counter when he's coming forward.
And Usyk gets another round in the back. Be saying in the corner though, you know, let's make the statement or let's win it. And you know, listen, subjective here, guys. Level on Gregor Proxer's card. I don't.
I can't make a case for the fight being level whatsoever. All the better shots have came from Oleksandr Usyk.
We are in Poland.
you do have a point.
He is the world champion.
I said this before.
We do put it out.
He's going to put his foot down on the pedal. It won't look to just
novice professional, really, as an amateur, Oleksandr Usyk, and can Krzysztof Glowacki late on.
He may be a novice professional, Adam, but he has very experienced coaches, and they will be the ones telling him, let's close this.
Glowacki, though.
But you're a fighter. You're in there.
Feel things in there, inside on the clinch that are hitting you. Usyk will know, but I still serious. Like the head movements have stopped up.
He had the eye damage to
again, Adam, that I say Usyk
still looks big and was in the early rounds.
No, he's definitely slowed down as well. Glowacki looks like a man that's trying to get into a fight rather than man.
You see all these counter punches that he's throwing are falling short, and that's a good 4-5. Falling short with his counters, he's just that bit out of range, as we can see once again there. That one got home.
Yep, drills himself. Can be catching the eye of the judges, but more quality. And he's absolutely loving it in there, in world boxing.
You see the smile on his face, the pull.
That's a key moment to become heavy weather champion, Glowacki.
It shows, Adam, who's the boss in there physically when you see guys getting him thrown back to the ropes.
What you expected, what you thought might well occur.
He is, and this is what I've been saying about him. You know, I have said he's an amazing fighter, a brilliant fighter, but I've also gone on record as saying I can't agree with that scoring.
I can't agree with that score. I don't know what Gregor's is watching, to be honest.
He is Polish, so he must be supporting his fellow countrymen. That is the only talent to be in that. So we will see how Glowacki, I am expecting now big cup.
Plenty of those have come late now, or is it?
For me, he needs one. For me, I think he looks tired. Even his power.
Or is it Usyk who is closing in to get in the inside schedule with of this utilising the ring so well? It's footwork, and it's something that's so underrated. Great fighters.
The Leonards. Yeah,
the Leonards. Absolutely.
But it's very rare he's such a big man.
Oh, big left hand rack. And Usyk, they're certainly at this stage in a
bottle to stay in there now.
To dig down. And it really is a tremendous effort. Who's still delivering, even in the
on here. You know, he's saying what a great
coming back and showing that they didn't hurt body artillery from Oleksandr.
The statement and the stoppage.
I think that because he's in Poland, the fight is that Oleksandr.
For me, Oleksandr Usyk has produced a cleaner one, and he's, you know, Glowacki has stayed in there, he's stayed patient, and he's had a go. But ultimately, you know, the more classier shots and the eye-catching punches have come from Glowacki.
Proxer's got it by one round. I can't even see that whatsoever. I've got this wide.
But that might be the issue, the subjectivity of the sport, and we might have it all wide, but you know, as we thought it would by the pair of them, the never refusing to come forward. Attempts, and he's got him there, Glowacki. Robert Bird, and it will need to knock out.
Agreed floor there, which shows a sign of he really does, and you know, he's obviously going to see, but Glowacki is coming on strong, and Usyk adjusting that angles a bit. They're good shots.
The chin of Glowacki, who's so hardened in the...
Out, Adam. Or will that show have any...
Let's hope the earmuffs don't spoil this one, eh?
Willing, their man, Glowacki on to retain his title in a stand and international boxing. It's been a pleasure again. We've taken you out of training for a night, Tony. It's worth it, isn't it?
It is. It's, hoping to see that we get such, a big star welcomed to the crew. And that's
late on in the 12th round. No failing.
He's very, very fit, but the heart, he's had his spots in this round. He's really good, but Usyk's always had an answer. He's always come back with something.
It's always been the
What a true champion. On 5 seconds left, they both go toe-to. Really good fight. Classy operators. Immense. 12 rounds had everything. We could have seen 3 more.
Cruiserweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
The new welcome, Oleksandr Usyk, WBO cruiserweight, who is a threat not only to Tony, but the whole cruiserweight world.